On this episode of Cooking with Costco, we've got Costco meatballs. Of course, these are one of my favorite meatballs. One big bag like this, I think it's 6 pounds, and you can see here that it fills 4 trays perfectly. And so we're going to go ahead and put this in the freeze dryer. Everybody knows that we had a disaster with meatballs once before, and so we're going to do the good ones, and we'll see what happens. Now you can see that I put these on paper towels, hopefully to drain some fat, and then I'm going to actually cover these with a piece of paper towel as well, and hopefully that's going to minimize some splatter, so we'll see how that goes. The Costco meatballs are done. This is the next day, and it's about 12 o'clock, lunchtime, so we're going to make some spaghetti with meatballs. Costco freeze-dried meatballs. One thing I forgot to tell you was that I cut these in half so they would dry easier in the freeze dryer. Took about 28 hours, and this is what we got out of a 6-pound bag of Costco meatballs. We got an entire number 10 can full, and we got almost a half a gallon, almost a half a can of additional meatballs, and that's because I had to eat some of them because they're so yummy, and because I had to make sure that they were dry. So that's my excuse. Anyway, we're going to rehydrate the meatballs today, and we're going to speed up the process a little bit by using our vacuum sealer to pull all the air out. So we're going to put water in here, and then we're going to pull the air out and vacuum that, and then let that sit while the spaghetti sauce is warming up. So we'll get that set up.
I don't know what they say in Italy. Ciao.
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 Speaking of ciao, Jenny wants to try one of those meatballs while it's still freeze-dried. So
the last meatball experiment was crap. We're just going to put it out there like that.
Have you ever had the Costco meatballs before?
Now, these taste like they're supposed to be meatballs.
Right.
Much better brand. This is very interesting.
So even freeze-dried, it's not awful?
No.
Does it taste like a dog biscuit?
No.
And what's the consistency like? The texture?
Once it rehydrates, it reminds me of like meatloaf in your mouth.
Yeah.
So much better meatball choice.
Okay, very good.
Very interesting.
Jenny's doing the honors on rehydrating these. Okay. Now I'm going to get set up to vacuum pack that. See if I can do this one-handed. Oh, there we go. Okay, and we're going to hit that.
Well, the meatballs, like the meat we found when they're bigger piece, are taking longer to rehydrate, but we're hungry. So I guess we're going to have a little spaghetti with meatballs as a
Dessert.
It's time to eat.
Alright, so we have sauce over here. Yummy. And we have meatballs sitting in jars. And we have spaghetti ready to get drained.
I'm going to dig and grab one.
Okay, what are you doing here, Jenny?
Well, we're trying the meatballs. Me being me, I'm going to dig and see if I can get one that's kind of in the middle. Since we had spaghetti and no meatballs, because they weren't quite rehydrated.
And we have some leftover, but
we're trying the meatballs. They've been in there over an hour by now. Kind of think we've learned our lesson that when we do things with the bigger meat products, we need to start the meat rehydrating probably an hour before we start the cooking.
yeah.
Anything bigger than a dice piece, it seems to be, but we're going to try it. They're good. There's some meatballs. There's Costco meatballs.
How's the center on it?
This one I dug in the bottom.
Yeah?
This one's good.
Good. Grab one from the top if you can.
Well, I ate off this fork, so
Okay.
we got a different fork.
Because we did kind of roll this around every few minutes, right?
Yeah.
Make sure it got done. Back to normal?
Much better success than the last meatball project.
Much better meatballs to start with.
That was my next statement. I think the meatballs are much better quality. And I've wasted 2 forks, but I'm kind of wanting to dig in and get some more meatballs.
All right, well, let's get some served up. Yeah, I did have to have a little bit more spaghetti. Meatballs are always great in a little bit of sauce. These turned out really good, and just like, the Costco meatballs that I'm so fond of. Pretty convenient, but you definitely have to start these ahead of time. So I don't think that I would ever actually put these in with spaghetti and sauce and freeze dry it all together, because these are just too big. They take too much time on their own. But you could certainly package these separately and rehydrate them before you start cooking the noodles. That's the big trick. So anyway, I'm happy with this. I think Janet's going to like these too, and we'll get Jessica over here. And that's about it. I think it turned out good. The other thing Jenny mentioned was if I had cut these smaller, then they could go in with the spaghetti and freeze dry it all together. I did cut these in half, but I cut them in half while they were frozen. And so I didn't actually, thaw them out. And there's no way I could have cut them into smaller pieces because it was enough work by itself to cut those in half. So that may not be practical. Here's Jessica. She's going to try them out. And here's the little monster boy. Hello, little monster boy. You going to try those meatballs?
Of course you do. They come frozen though, right?
Right.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Freezing them, unthawing them, and then freezing them again.
And freeze drying them, and then...
Yeah, if they came... We're waiting for you, Jessica.
I know.
Oh. But yeah, as I mentioned before, we seem to have more trouble with the bigger. If it's a diced, minuscule, like quarter inch piece, it rehydrates in no time.
Yeah.
But these rehydrated really well, and I gotta get out of the kitchen because there won't be any left for anybody else.
Okay. Oh, your dog wants some more. Oh, and here's Janet, just in time to try some meatballs.
I just been at the lovely post office.
How did it go?
It's the post office.
It's like DMB on steroids.
Yeah. Freeze-dried meatballs.
So you made it back.
Costco meatballs. In some... What kind of spaghetti sauce? Ragu?
No, this is
Prego?
my kind, yeah.
Prego.
Prego. And you're trying it in sauce also?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys already had spaghetti without the meatballs.
It's cold, but other than that, I'm sorry I'm late. It would have been warm when it was freshly made. It tastes good.
Do you want to put it in the microwave?
I don't need to. I think it tastes fine. Cool. I heard there was some sort of fiasco about them, which I'm not sure. I'll have to get the full scoop on that later.
No, they just weren't ready when
Okay.
the spaghetti was ready, so that's all.
I didn't try the other meatballs that were apparently the bad meatballs
Yeah.
from last time.
You hated them. They were awful.
These are due.
We all
These are
did.
good.
I just had one, so I think I'll have a little more spaghetti and meatballs.
Okay.
We're having a doggy meatball test. Give me some. Oh.
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 What'd you think of that, huh? Huh? Was that as good as a blueberry, little dog?
Chomped, swallowed, done.
Okay.
Dog approved.
So John just came back in time for some meatballs.
Oh, texture's right.
Are you sure?
Am I sure? Well, they cut with the fork all right. Tell me I'm not the only one who liked these.
I like them.
I do
Jenny
like-
liked them.
I do like them. Yeah. You could fool me with these. You could, yeah.
Yes, but could I fool you with these? Costco meatballs.
Those are good.
Right on.
Yeah, they. Now I microwaved those to pretty hot, so they were just right for the palate. I hear you had them cold. Didn't like them cold. Is that the deal?
No, we were fine. We were
Okay.
fine. We were fine.
Now these are great. Yeah, I'm happy with these. Can't wait for the oysters.
Okay. So it looks like that worked out, and I'm happy because the other meatballs were awful. For the Epicenter.com, I'm Epicenter Brian, signing out.